He kept talking about Transformers. This is going to be big like Transformers. He said it was a cross between Transformers and Shakespeare. I was trying to wrap my head around that, and I said, I think you're going to alienate one of those audiences.
This sounds like the kind of movie that if you were to give 10-year-old Clint $1 billion, this is the kind of movie that 10-year-old Clint would.
And then there's mermaids.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they're also on land. And then
And there's this really
It's
cute girl that I
crazy.
love in my 6th grade class, and she really wants to be in this
and
movie.
she's gonna be the princess. And there's gonna be like battles and like ships. And like he's the good guy, but also he's the bad guy.
And his name is Silver Eye. Isn't that so
Isn't
cool?
that so cool?
And then Optimus Prime shows up.
And then Shakespeare?
I want Shakespeare to be running in battle with a sword, fighting up against Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
To be or not to be, bitch.
Making stuff is hard, especially in the entertainment world, when there are millions of dollars on the line. We're going to talk about these disastrous, never-ending, and sometimes downright dangerous productions. This is The Shit Show. Hello, friends. My name is Ian, and I have a doozy for who is joining me today.
Oh my God.
Clint
Hello.
and Ray.
Hello.
Now, for everyone listening to this, the surprise is going to be kind of ruined by the title of the episode. But Clint,
But
can
we have
you confirm?
no idea what's
Can
going
you
on.
confirm that I did not give you any homework for today's recording?
I can confirm no homework was given. I even asked for it. So I'm coming in blind. I have no idea. I have no clue what we're going to be talking about.
Ray, is it true that even though we live together,
Yes,
I have not told you what,
That-
if anything, that what we'll be doing today?
that is correct. I have no idea.
I'm nervous because I think that he's gonna be like, hey, you know that movie that you absolutely love and it's like your favorite thing of all time? Like, I'm gonna tell you it's a piece of shit.
It's abusive.
But now I'm thinking like, well,
What a
this
shit
show
show it
isn't
was.
this show's like some people they don't understand. Our show is even though we get critical of shows, that's not the idea behind our show. Our show is to talk about how a movie was made
Yes.
and what a shit show that was. So I swear to God, if you're about like to tell me that Raiders of the Lost Ark is a piece of shit, I'm gonna I already got that from that fucking Big Bang Theory.
Oh, this is Blues
episode.
Brothers all over again. Oh my God.
Guesses?
I don't know. I titled the file of this episode Mystery Episode. That's how little I know about what the hell we're doing here.
Can we like ask like 20 questions or something? Are we going to be talking about a movie?
With that in mind, I'd like to show you two
Oh God.
a trailer
Oh
Okay.
God.
for an upcoming film.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to show you this trailer.
Mhm.
Pay attention and notice a fun little twist at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeast.
1,000 years have passed since our kingdoms have assembled. Our only hope lies in the prophecy.
A hero's journey.
All hands on deck.
The search for truth and honor.
My people have put their faith in me, and I'm their only hope.
We've been waiting generations for this moment.
The power of revenge.
I have no idea what
I have
this is.
no fucking clue.
Oh my goodness.
In theaters 2013.
2013. Empires of the Deep. That's the most like generic. I thought it was Little Mermaid for a second.
I thought you
'cause
said it was
very
upcoming.
like.
With the recent news about Warner Brothers canceling the Batgirl film, I wanted to do a whole topic about unreleased films. And 2 minutes into researching Empires of the Deep, I knew this was going to be our own episode.
Wow.
Quite possibly the most expensive film never to see the light of day.
Oh
Really?
my God.
This is an unreleased film.
Wow.
Hence the releasing in theaters in 2013.
Oh, almost 10 years ago?
So our homework would not have been, our homework's not
There
possible.
was no possible homework.
Exactly.
Except
Okay.
maybe watching that trailer.
So Batgirl is still unfolding. So we'll maybe get to that at another time, and maybe we'll do a whole episode about other unreleased films. But today, let's talk Empires of the Deep.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right. Who is that lead? Who is the lead actor in that?
You don't know anybody in this entire movie
Except for Olga Kurylenko.
except Olga Kurylenko.
Okay.
What do I know her from?
Quantum of
Bond.
Solace.
Oh, okay.
So what is Empires of the Deep about? Since no one has seen it, let me describe it. Ancient Greece.
Okay, I was getting some like Jason and the Argonauts, like
Yeah.
ancient Greece kind of situation.
Our
vibes.
restless protagonist, Atlas, the son of Poseidon, transforms or has an alter ego into the heroic pirate Silvereye.
Okay.
And he does this to save his brethren. One day, an army of merman knights riding giant crabs.
Why does a merman need to ride
Merman. That just reminds me of Zoolander.
Invades Atlas's village and kidnaps his adoptive father, General Damos. And a 90-foot lobster takes with them their holy temple of Poseidon. Atlas and his pirates embark on a quest across the sea. They arrive at a mysterious palace where bewitching women lure Atlas's men into bed. Ooh. Have their way with them and kill them.
Ooh, I was to say Empires of the Deep.
Yeah.
Also, this takes place on Crab Island, so take that with what you will.
Crab. It's called Crab Island. Jesus.
It's
Right next to gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Isle.
Gonorrhea Inlet.
The peninsula.
Gonorrhea Bay. The Syphilis Peninsula.
It's here Atlas meets the beautiful Akka. Suddenly, the palace fills with water because Crab Island is actually the back of a 400-foot fish. The women turn out to be mermaids, and Akka is their princess. Atlas and his drunken buddy Trajan are thrown into a spiral shell with windows made of jellyfish skin, pulled by sea monsters. The duo arrive at Mermaid Island, ruled by the Mermaid Queen, where the 8 fairy kingdoms have convened. They have joined forces to fight the evil demon mage, who has returned after 1,000 years of banishment. The magic to stop him is sealed inside the Temple of Poseidon. Shit happens, and during the ending great battle between good and evil, it's revealed that the demon mage has been Atlas all along.
What
Dumb.
the shit? Wait, but Atlas was the protagonist. How was he both? Listen, I don't need to pretend like I want to understand this. That entire plot sounds like it was AI generated. It sounds like you fed in. It's like, okay, feed in like just every like big epic like Greek, like Troy movie and like fantasy movie from the past like 20 years, just like feed it into like an AI generator and then like have it spit a script out. Like that's what that sounds like.
The only thing ancient Greek about that is the names
The
Atlas and
names.
Poseidon.
Yeah.
Everything else is just hodgepodge bullshit.
Just like fantasy nonsense.
So, Empires of the Deep is the brainchild of Chinese real estate mogul John Zhang. He went to school for architecture, but he got into real estate during China's economic boom, which made him a billionaire. He speaks very little English. This is important all throughout. Zhang wants to prove that a film can be made outside of the traditional routes, and he wants to be the next George Lucas or James Cameron. He wants to film it in English, so it will have the most cross-international appeal. So Zhang, why didn't you go through the usual Chinese filmmaking system?
I'm an international producer. I don't want to make Chinese movies. I don't know the Chinese way of storytelling. I don't know how movies are made in China.
I don't think you know how movies are made at all, my
regardless.
friend.
Oh, you guys are jumping
Sir.
the gun on that. And why not use a Chinese director like Zhang Yamao, who did like Hero and
Right.
House of Flying Dragons,
Right.
Or Daggers,
Like
or even John
John
Woo,
Woo, yeah.
right? This is why Zhang did not want one of those directors.
They're not qualified to make my movies. The movies they make are of no value to me. It sounds like he knows what the word movie means, but doesn't know anything else about it.
We'll get into some of that. So he sees this Empires of the Deep as a trilogy, and that it could spawn video games and even theme parks.
Jeez.
He's so gung-ho about this.
Right.
And this is him describing the movie.
It's a very serious love tragedy. It is a combination of something mystical, something that satisfies your bloodlust, and something sensual.
Crab Island, baby.
Crab's Island. I feel like this guy's been to Crab Island a few times. Billionaire with way too much time on his hands.
Right? Yeah.
He establishes Imagine Studios. You pointed that out in the front there.
Yeah, because Imagine is Ron Howard's,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Imagine Entertainment.
Yeah.
So this
When I
is
saw-
like Imagine. I was like, what the fuck is that?
When I saw it in the trailer and I said Imagine,
Yeah.
it had the same like font type, like typeface of Imagine.
Imagine.
Studios. And I was
Yeah.
like, is this like one of those
Like
things?
a parody.
Is it a
Yeah.
spoof?
It's-
Yeah.
Is it one of those things where like Disney puts out like Frozen, and then some knockoff company puts out the Snow Queen, and it's like subtle differences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so he establishes Imagine Studios in LA in 2004 with the help of two other Chinese producers who were hired to realize John's dream. In 2007, Zhang starts meeting with potential directors. One of them is Jonathan Lawrence, a director with nothing of note under his belt, mostly shorts. Zhang is super rude to Lawrence throughout. He's like, who are you? Like, why should I even hire you? Doesn't look him in the eye. Meeting ends, nothing comes of it. And Lawrence calls the current script horrific and completely disjointed. Zhang invites Randall Frakes, who he's a writer of B movies. He loves his B movies, and he's a good friend of James Cameron. And one of his biggest movies is called Hell Comes to Frogtown. So this is just right in his alley. He invites him to China to translate the script to English. Frakes thinks the script could be a new age Jason and the Argonauts,
Okay.
as you kept pointing
Yes.
out, if it was fixed. Like if they
Right.
if they made it better.
I mean, I gotta hand it to him though. When was the last time you saw some real epic mermaid battles?
I mean, that's a good point. Never. I'm gonna say The Little Mermaid, probably.
Yeah, that was the
Disney's
last.
The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, where the mermaid was on the boat most of the time.
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lot of mermaid on mermaid violence.
Yeah.
Frakes tells him the movie is a collection of stolen ideas from the 80s. There's literally a minecart chase straight out of Temple of Doom in
Awesome.
it.
Okay, so this guy's watched a lot of movies.
Yes, he likes to brag that he's seen 4,000 movies. Which what does that even mean?
Who keeps count?
Yeah.
Who counts?
This guy sounds like a grade A dick.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
4,000 movies. I know what movies
And
are.
I have $1 billion.
Crab Island.
Good for
Crab
you.
Island 2 Return to Gonorrhea.
Yeah.
And Frakes is like, the audience is going to recognize this as just rip-offs.
Rip-offs, yeah.
And Zhang just tells him, no, all those sequences have to stay. So Zhang sends Frakes back to LA to meet with Zhang's director he had been courting at the time, 87-year-old Irvin Kershner,
Really?
director of
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh shit.
So he's like, I'm just going to go for it, right? And I don't know why an 87-year-old's like, okay, sure, I'm in it.
Wow.
Um,
I got nothing else to do.
yeah.
Right.
Frakes and Kershner agree that the story sucks and instead to rewrite it to be modern day, about a group of scientists looking for an alternative energy source and accidentally run into this underwater lost kingdom. Frank sends his script to Zhang, pointing out that the modern day sci-fi would have a broader appeal to Western audiences. Remember, this is the point. He wants to make this huge movie
he's
for everybody.
like he's trying to give this guy what he wants. Where he's like, hey, like this is how you make a big Hollywood movie that appeals to a wide variety of people.
Yes, exactly. Kirshner also says this is the only version of this movie that he would make. Is this modern day?
Right.
And I don't have the energy.
Zhang says no to all of it. Franks and Kirshner leave the film, and Franks is still listed as a writer, but he says that whatever was actually filmed had none of his work in it.
Interesting.
So then Zhang hires French VFX supervisor Jean-Christophe Comer, a.k.a. Pitoff. He goes by Pitoff. He's the guy responsible for Catwoman.
Oh,
that cinematic classic. And he gives
maybe Catwoman wasn't one of the 4,000 movies that he saw.
Yeah, right.
And he gives him $400,000 to work with him for a year. Pitoff also hates the script, saying it read like a direct translation. Like it was just like word for word, and so it didn't make any sense. Like a bad Google Translate, like an AI generation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense, and he hires a guy to rewrite it, and it becomes more like Clash of the Titans, the remake. And Zhang, of course, hates it. And Pitoff realizes Zhang won't budge on anything, calling the project bullshit. At his end of his contract, Pitoff went home for holiday and never comes back. This is why he thinks, he likes to say that he fired Pitoff. This is Zhang.
I thought it would be better to hire a director from Hollywood. It's very hard to communicate with the French. Wow. Just throwing everybody under the bus.
Oh my God.
2 years after that contentious meeting with Jonathan Lawrence, he is asked to direct the film. And this is Jonathan Lawrence talking about why he chose to say yes.
I was probably still a little bit hurt by how rudely I felt I'd been treated. But I said, sure, I'll direct a movie in China, make a little money, have a little fun.
Before he leaves China, he has to audition actors, which have to be approved by Zhang. Most of them were chosen simply based off their photos, and most signed contracts for a trilogy.
Which is notoriously the worst way to choose an actor. It's just based off of photos.
Yeah, headshots are always so glamorous.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone and Monica Bellucci were approached for The Mermaid Queen, but Olga Kurylenko was offered the role thanks to her recent appearance in Quantum of Solace. She was paid $1 million for that.
That's chump change for billionaire Zhang.
Right?
Yeah. Also, the role of Akka, the mermaid princess, Atlas's love interest, was already cast. Shi Yan Fei, who just happens to be, who would you guess?
I'm going to say his
Zhang's
daughter.
or niece.
Close.
What? Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Zhang's girlfriend.
Of course. He met her on Crab Island. Oh, no, that's me. She's probably delightful.
How do you say nepotism in Mandarin?
Yeah. She also doesn't speak English, and she has a big role in this.
That's a problem. If you're not making a Chinese movie, if you're making a movie for Western
spoken
audiences,
in English.
Yeah. If that's your whole goal, it's kind of a problem.
I feel like his whole approach to this movie is like, it'll be okay.
It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, really? Yeah, really. We'll figure it out.
I don't think you understand how much money I have. Money solves all problems.
4,000 movies. That's what he does when everybody comes at him. He's like, $1 billion, 4,000 movies, one girlfriend.
It's like Chinese Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he tried to make a movie? Oh, God.
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
So Lawrence gets on the plane, and only then is he reading the current draft. It's still bad. He thinks it's still, if it wasn't so self-serious, it could be like a fun, like Jason and the Argonauts kind of movie.
Right.
In 2009, Lawrence arrives in China, and goes to Zhang's office. This is the first time these two have seen each other since that meeting 2 years ago. So
since he was really rude to him.
Yeah. So they didn't even meet in between there. It was almost like all email and through other people. This time, Zhang is gracious, kind, and super excited. Lawrence is then taken to a warehouse, and it's full of set pieces, costumes, props, weaponry, scale models, just an enormous amount of stuff. And he's like, oh, wow,
like people have already started making this movie without the director.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Wow.
So Lawrence
There we
is like,
go.
this is great. I have all this stuff already pre-prepared. I can choose what I want from it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that's with him is like, oh no, this is all the material that Zhang has rejected.
Oh my God.
On to the next warehouse through this other door.
Why even show him? Why even show him that warehouse?
See all this cool stuff you can't have. That's
$1 billion is going to get you a lot of stuff that you're not going to use.
warehouses and warehouses full of stuff.
It's like the Willy Wonka of Chinese cinema.
Yeah. Jeez.
Anytime Lawrence suggests a change, this is what Zhang would say to Lawrence via his interpreter.
Pitoff said the same thing. I have no need for the ways of Hollywood, but I want to conquer Hollywood.
I don't know what that means. He has no need for the ways of Hollywood, but you want to break into that system. It's like he went into this thing just going, I know how to make movies. I've seen a bunch of them. I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's...
He probably watched the documentary series that they did for Peter Jackson when he made The Lord of the Rings, and it was just probably just taking notes, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, I've watched this, I know how to make movies.
Yeah.
With that money, if he was just a little bit more open-minded, he could have gone to any studio and be like,
Literally.
here's a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Here's my idea for a movie.
Yeah,
Right.
I will fund it.
I'll fund it. You make it and make
Right.
it good.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like when you get people who are that rich, there's an ego there. They're just like, I'm right. It's what I want to do. It's my vision. It's my thing. They just can't.
I don't
let
care if
go.
my rocket looks like a dick. I'm gonna go to space.
I'm doing it.
I'm gonna go to space wearing a dumb ass cowboy hat.
Riding dick rocket.
So Lawrence finally convinces him the first act needs to be rewritten to set up the characters better so all the action actually has stakes, right? Zhang lets him do this, but then cuts it all out, saying, get to the action. And this is how the interaction with Lawrence went, how he explained their kind of what Zhang kept telling him.
He kept talking about Transformers. This is going to be big like Transformers. He said it was a cross between Transformers and Shakespeare. I was trying to wrap my head around that, and I said, I think you're going to alienate one of those audiences.
Transformers and Shakespeare.
This combination of people is the best thing. I love John Lawrence is just what? He's just straightforward kind of what the actual fuck? And then this guy is just no nonsense.
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's so good.
Well, I mean, based on the trailer, I think it does kind of capture Transformers meets Shakespeare, and
I would say it doesn't at all.
No, but we can attest that it doesn't work.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got the scale that I think he wants about
like a Transformers scale, but with the drama and fantasy of like The Tempest.
Yeah.
You know,
or just Avatar.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can see just based on the trailer, what he was thinking, but I think it's absolutely right. You're going to alienate one of those.
You're going to alienate
those are
every
big
audience.
Yeah.
Every audience is going to be alienated.
So through this, Lawrence started feeling like maybe he could guide Zhang a little bit and help save this production. Mm-hmm. And to Lawrence, this could be his big break, right?
By this point, had he done, because you said when they first met, he'd only done shorts. And
still nothing.
It still hadn't really done anything. Okay.
Yeah, he's in his 40s at this point, too.
Has he done anything since? Will we get to that? Oh, okay. Jang killed him.
How did Jang find out about him?
One of the producers knew a different producer who was friends with Lawrence.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure it was a price point kind of thing.
Right.
Or he probably put out offers to all these big people, and they're like, self-financed Chinese
Yeah.
billionaire? Like,
They
I
just,
know. What?
Like looking through their mail, just like immediately threw that letter away.
yeah, like,
Just
this sounds like a
junk
scam.
Junk mail.
This one says a director from Nigeria.
Yeah.
A Nigerian prince director wants to.
Right.
I mean, essentially, this is what this is going to turn into.
Oh my God.
I can't wait.
As Lawrence continues pre-production, Zhang lets him know that they need to start shooting immediately. And for all the money and years that Zhang has invested at this point, including establishing his own VFX house, and then that other Imagine Studios, and building all God knows how many props, production itself felt like Zhang was trying to run through it, just get it over with. So before filming starts, the cinematographer bails. He's like, this is a train wreck. I don't give a shit. I'm out. And a new guy comes in, a Chinese guy, and he wants to shoot on film instead of digital, which is extremely time-consuming.
And expensive.
And yes.
Yeah.
And
hard.
And it's
harder
also
to
being
do.
filmed in 3D.
Oh,
Of course,
Jesus.
that was the time.
Oh, Jesus.
That was like the revamp, the
Primo
reboot of
3D
3D.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since Zhang suddenly wants things rolling and film takes so much time, they would only shoot 3 or 4 takes of every scene before moving on, because they were just like, keep going. And so it was kind of like the actors are like, oh shit. and some people can be like Kubrick was very infamous for doing hundreds of takes, but then Ridley Scott is known for doing a short amount of takes. He's
Right.
I don't want to waste anybody's time. Yeah, you got it. You're good actors.
Yeah,
you know what you're doing.
He's he's efficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 'Cause
So
didn't Ridley did all the money in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Because that was why the reshoot was so
quick
because he was just
easy.
Look, in, out, I'm
I know what I'm doing.
I'm a surgeon. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
So the language barrier is obviously a major hurdle in this whole scenario.
Right.
Lawrence would give precise instructions for whatever, the camera crew or the set decorators or the extras, right? But the back and forth of understanding one another would take up hours. After all of that added up throughout the day, that's hours worth of time.
Was it a mostly Chinese crew, and were they shooting in
Yes.
China?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's so challenging.
The crew were not filmmakers, and they did not understand that you had to be quiet during takes.
Oh Jesus.
So countless shots were ruined by talking, laughter, and just general shit going on in the background.
Wait, well then who were they? Who was the crew?
Don't know.
Just grab
this is,
some.
This
hey,
is such
hey,
a
you,
mystery.
Guy walking down the street. You want to make a movie?
Yeah,
sure.
pretty much. Throughout the production, Lawrence had a Chinese assistant who was also his translator, Zhang. It wasn't until his time on the set was nearly over that he found out that she was terrified of Zhang and would only translate some of what Lawrence would say, worried that she might offend him.
Oh no.
So even what he was saying wasn't even
Right.
getting to him.
Right, because she's I don't want him to shoot the messenger.
Yeah,
Listen,
exactly.
I'm just
Send
gonna,
me to Crab Island.
Yeah, holy shit. I'm not gonna get in the middle of this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't blame her.
But
I don't blame her.
But it's also what exactly was told? What was relayed, right?
Right.
You literally have no idea.
I know. Where he's just Jang, this movie sucks. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, it's a very good movie. Great job.
Yeah.
And he looks, why are you thumbs upping? Why are you giving a thumbs up right now?
Yeah.
That's
Or he's like,
crazy.
oh, we need more food for the set. You're hungry? Yeah, or
Yeah.
just some just nonsense,
So
right?
now Lawrence gets another burger. He's like, oh yeah, great, cool. And then he looks around the
Thanks
crew.
for
Is
the burger.
Yeah,
What? Yeah.
Where's the rest of the food?
Interesting. Every day of the shoot, they had chicken, broccoli, and rice every single day.
I mean, that sounds
No change.
I mean, it sounds really healthy.
Yes, but this is it. That's all they ate.
Yeah.
All every day.
I mean, I like all three of those things, but all
Yeah,
day, every day.
All day,
Yeah.
every day.
It's gonna get
Okay.
boring.
Everyone was super fit though.
I mean,
by
there is
the
Crab
end.
Island. Just eat the crabs,
Yeah.
right?
Filming started in November or December of 2009. It's kind of like confusing actually where it starts. Starting with sound stages. One set had chickens for the background, like background scenery, but no one was in charge of the chickens. So they'd leave for the day. The chickens would get into shit that they weren't supposed to.
Oh my
And then they would arrive the next day and find a bunch of dead chickens.
Oh no, chickens.
Well, I mean, that's why they ate chicken every day.
Oh shit, you're correct. Yeah.
Like, we don't want to waste these chickens. Let's just eat 'em.
They're like, well, we got lunch. What? Wait, why were the chickens there? They were like
part of like the ancient Greece set or something.
Oh, okay. So they were props.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like part of the village.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
if they were-
Dead chickens.
I know there's a chicken of the sea tuna joke in there somewhere.
Yeah. I was like, well, like, what were they getting into? I don't know. I guess there's a lot of stuff you could get into on a movie
On a
set.
soundstage,
Yeah. Whatever they're chewing into, and because they weren't corralled, they weren't
Right.
like in a coop or anything. They're just
Yeah.
freely walking around the set, and they're just
Free-
like left for the day.
Free range, free set chickens.
Yeah.
Free set chickens. Lawrence witnesses a crew member deliberately being kicked in the head by a camera operator. When he tried to intervene, the producers stopped him and were like, "You don't want to enter that."
Oh my
Like,
god.
so there's something else going on.
There's,
There's
like,
an on-set scuffle.
actual
Yes.
like abuse happening.
Yeah.
It sounds like.
And it's like, why don't I want to be involved? Like, what? Is there something that I should know?
Yeah. Well, and he's like surrounded by people. He's like, is anyone actually translating
Yeah.
things correctly for me?
Yeah,
Like, am I
exactly.
being told the truth about anything that's going on?
Yeah.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. All the stunt work was filmed without Lawrence's direction. They did it without him. They were stories of how unsafe the environment was, with multiple injuries and people just leaving, just quitting. But he just heard these secondhand, third hand possibly, through a translator, so he has no idea what exactly actually happened.
Wait, who broke what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Burger? What?
So
Yeah, stop handing me burgers.
Yeah, I need to know who broke a leg.
why didn't Zhang just direct this?
I don't know.
Like, why was he like, I need to have a director? Because it sounds like Lawrence like wasn't actually really in control of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just like
He heard how
being
Poltergeist was
puppeteered.
made and was like, this sounds like a great idea.
I have no idea. We'll get to him being on the set and stuff like that later. But Zhang had open signups for extras asking for European/North American origins in China.
Okay.
So he's
So, like,
asking
The 20 tourists who happened to be there around that time.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk down the side of a street and like someone's like, "Hey, do you want to be on a game show?" Like like in LA, we're taping for a game show. You want to come check it out? And let's
Yeah.
go. Well, just walking down the street. Hey, that guy looks
Yeah.
vaguely
That guy looks
North
like he's
American.
North American origins.
Oh, be in the film, okay.
Yeah.
It's just some like very obvious Swedish guy wearing like a big like reindeer sweater. You look European.
Ooh, okay.
So these extras, they arrive and they're fitted to costumes that had already been made.
Oh geez.
So most of them don't fit. And the crew started gluing them to the actors using glue that said explicitly on the label, avoid contact to skin.
Oh no.
So a bunch of these guys started like getting rashes and shit.
Losing their skin.
Yeah, and if you saw like there's a bunch of really random shit in that. Like they have all kinds of weird. Think of you can watch this trailer easily. It's all over YouTube. But think of the second Pirates of the Caribbean. All those like characters that
All
have
the
like
fish.
the other
Yeah,
kind of
like
fish kind of people.
shells.
the Flying
and-
Dutchman crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys.
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
kinda
like,
think that
actually some of
without any without a budget.
Well, I was actually going to say that like some of the headpieces looked kind of cool because they
Yeah.
were like shells, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But
Did you
like,
ever watch on Sci-Fi that reality competition show Face Off?
yeah,
The
wait,
Yeah,
special,
for a
the
little
bit.
special
Yeah,
effects.
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved that show. I thought it was great, but it looks like that they took some of the people who did not go very far in that
Yeah,
series.
and also made him build it in 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours, and for whatever reason, no budget.
Yeah.
Even though the guy's got billions of dollars, 4,000 movies,
One girlfriend,
one girlfriend.
3 burgers.
20 dead chickens, one Swede.
It's all just a numbers game. with
Yes,
this
it's
guy.
all the numbers. So they're they finish with the soundstage stuff for now, and so they start going to the coastal sets because that's where it's gonna be a lot of these battles. Is that they're gonna be on the
Right.
beaches, right? So the set that was already chosen was this really nice beach, but it had a resort in the background. But this is the cold time of year, so it's like standing at a beach with a coat on. And
So it was like the off season, so there wasn't a shit
Yeah.
ton of people there.
yeah, exactly.
Got that right at least.
And
Right.
Lawrence jokes to the assistant that it would be so much easier if they just built a wall on that side of the beach. When it came to time for shooting the set for a big battle sequence, guess what?
There's a wall there.
And I'm talking about a big wall.
Oh my god.
That is a big wall.
That is about a 15-foot plywood wall that they built for about, 2 football fields?
Jesus, yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, those other props that were on, that are in location that look kind of cool.
Well,
But they're
I
also
mean,
I don't know why they're not colored.
they're just- yeah, it
I
looks-
think maybe they're going to be replaced with CG or something.
Yeah.
probably, yeah. That beach looks beautiful.
Yeah. The resort town. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing that's going on. That translation error.
Right.
He makes a joke, and somehow it gets into
Right.
to Zhang,
right.
who tells someone else
We have to build a
we
wall
have to
there.
build a wall there.
Yeah.
And then they construct a whole goddamn thing, spending who knows how much
Right.
and how much time. But he also arrives at this same set with being told that he would have several hundred extras for this big battle. Well, via asking for European, North American people in China, there's about 30.
Uh-huh.
And
That sounds right.
so they don't have enough for an army. And it's cold, and it's wet, and there are no trailers for the
Yeah.
actors to warm up.
Jeez.
So they're just like standing around on the beach, just freezing their asses off. Lawrence suggests over and over that they could easily have just done this indoors because they're going to have to digitally replace that wall anyway.
Mhm.
And all of it's just taking place on the beach. Just make a big room, fill it with sand.
Right, just make a big beach set in a soundstage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is how Zhang replied.
Gotta shoot location because Peter Jackson said you gotta shoot location.
He totally watched that
He totally
documentary.
watched it.
He totally did.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not going to disagree because I was talking to somebody actually just the other day about how the Lord of the Rings 20 years later still stands up. Like it looks amazing. And it's
We-
because of how much practical stuff is in that movie. Like all the props, like the locations, like there's so much practical in there that it doesn't look dated because
Yeah.
you can't really like place it.
Yeah.
And so there's some truth to that, but
But there's also skill.
exactly.
There were some
Yeah.
people who actually knew what the hell they
what
were
they
doing.
were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even Peter Jackson at like various points in making Lord of the Rings was like, fuck. Like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
because like making a movie is hard as
what
shit.
have I gotten myself into?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have all these translation errors, all this confusion going on. It would get to the point where these actors would spend hours in makeup, especially the mermaids. The mermaids are very elaborate paint, because they're
paint.
body paint.
Yeah.
And they would spend hours in makeup only for them to never be called to set.
Oh my God.
So they would spend all the time putting it on, then they'd be like, "Oh, go home." Well, we got to take all that shit off. Zhang was rarely on set, but when he was really complimentary to the cast and to Lawrence, who was told by one of the producers that Zhang really likes him. And the producer said, he's never given anybody as much respect as he's given you.
Jeez.
And it's kind of
Also,
like,
I'm sorry. Sus. Everybody in this story is sus. I don't believe.
Yeah.
I don't believe a goddamn word anybody in this story says. They're all full of shit.
yeah, and that could have been just easily like
Yeah.
that producer going, "Oh, Lawrence looks like he's having a bad day. Let me
Right.
say this," and Zhang's like, "Who's this Lawrence guy?"
Or this, or this like the poor like the sweet like translator who hears from Zhang like that Lawrence is a son of a bitch, and she's just like, "You're doing a great job." Like
Shank said he respects
he
you
respects
above
you more
all.
than anybody.
Don't shoot the messenger.
2
Yeah.
thumbs up.
Yeah.
Um,
This mistranslation's going both ways.
she's like, "Fuck, I'm getting a paycheck."
Yeah, she's scared out of her mind. She's like, I can't do anything to fuck this up.
He's all just screaming. Zhang's all just screaming. And she's like, Lawrence is like, "What's wrong with him?" He's wondering if you want another burger.
Burger. He's asking if the wall is high enough.
Well, it's funny that you say that. So at the same time, he would also like question just really stupid stuff if he was on set. Like he didn't like that there was not enough smoke in one scene. And he was like, "No, you got to make more smoke. And it was like, this doesn't really matter. One scene that Lawrence kept arguing with Zhang was about the death of Damos, the
Spoilers.
the adoptive
father.
of Atlas.
I was listening.
He dies in a big battle where thousands more also die, right? But the mermaids give Damos a pill that brings him back to life. And Lawrence is like, if the mermaids have these pills, wouldn't they just like revive their entire army?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make any sense. So he's like, how about we make it like a dark magic spell that could only like, it had like really grave consequences. And Zhang said, no. This is Lawrence with an exchange with Zhang.
At one point, about halfway through, I said to my interpreter, "Tell him this is the worst fucking script I've ever read." Zhang didn't seem offended, and without missing a beat, he said, "Well, who are you? You don't have any credits on IMDb as a writer." And I said, "Neither do you." I want a movie about these two guys. This is the best, like, odd couple, like, weird story.
What an ego though. I was like, you don't have, what have you done? It was like,
What have you?
First of all, what have you done? Secondly, you hired me. You hired me.
So for a billionaire, Zhang was really bad at paying his employees.
that tracks.
Actors were constantly saying they were being paid late, weeks and even months. Lawrence even threatened to quit if the funds weren't transferred right then and there. Like, he's like, I want to see this happen right now.
Yeah.
A few of the extras were Russians, probably also walking on the streets. Yes, being filmed, okay.
Yeah, just like fucking people on vacation in China. Just getting like looped into this shit. Look, I'm just here to see the Great Wall, okay?
Were they actually like dudes from LA that were pretending to be Russians that are actually jugglers?
Yes.
Is that who they were?
Yes. Let's bring
Flying
those guys.
Karmov brothers are back.
Let's bring those maniacs.
Do you want
into
us to
this
juggle
mix.
in this scene?
Jay was probably like, yes, underwater. He's just pulling other segments from other movies. You probably saw
Jewel of the Nile.
He's like, oh yeah.
One of the 4,000 you saw. So a few of these Russian extras, they started complaining about the same thing, about not being paid. And
Right.
Zhang sent the police to their hotel to check their visas.
Oh my
like
god.
as a scare tactic.
Whoa.
So this is all starting to change,
Dude.
right? One day they went to the soundstage to start the day, and they were locked out because Zhang hadn't paid rent or paid for any of the gear.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So another just random shit that's going on, and this illusion that you said of like Trump is actually very apt.
Yeah. I was just going to say that I feel like that's how billionaires be billionaires, is not that they're like good at making money. They just don't fucking like pay people.
They don't pay people.
Or
their taxes.
or they aren't actually a billionaire.
That's
Oh, okay.
So
you got it.
okay. So as things went on, Zhang grew frustrated by especially the Americans being wimps on this, complaining about the food and then the conditions and being cold.
You mean just like living a life, like being alive? Oh, they're complaining about being alive.
It's like, if only if I could just put them on the wall project.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we are really good at complaining about stuff, to be fair.
Yeah, that's
so.
true. Okay,
Epic
but
complainers.
this is here's this is where stuff starts getting crazy.
Here,
Okay.
this
this,
is
yeah,
where-
this
this
right
was the
now.
point?
starts getting insane. Okay. So one scene has Silver Eye. Remember his
The pirate.
I don't know why he
Alter ego.
has two alter egos in this movie apparently.
It's a fucking dumb name.
Yeah, because he's Atlas, and he's this pirate Silver Eye, and he's also the bad guy.
Somehow he's also in both places at the
Oh my
same
God.
time. Yeah, I don't know.
I really
The
want to see
people who've
this
read
movie.
the script. The people that have read the script are kind of like, I've
What's
read this and
happening?
it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He's going to rescue these prisoners in a cave while riding a horse. And they filmed in an actual cave, because you got to shoot on location, where the horse was meant to jump over a table. The horse is like, hell no.
Yeah. This horse is smart.
Hell no.
So fucking stupid. I love it.
There's our old person
There's
humor.
There's your dad joke. There's your dad joke for the episode.
So horse freaks out
Mm-hmm.
and starts spinning in circles and kicking. Meanwhile,
No.
these actors are literally chained to the walls as prisoners.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's just like flailing around, and they're just like, Jesus Christ. 'Cause,
Like trying
what
not
can
to
you
get
do?
kicked in
Yeah.
the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stopped the horse before it hit anybody, but it did kick the wall. It hit the cave wall so hard that a rock fell and crushed like an entire light right next to somebody.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
And so it was just like, okay, so clearly there's no safety regulations here.
There's
and
no animal wrangler.
yeah,
on
and there
this
was a
set.
question of whether or not that horse was even trained to do
Trained.
what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. That horse was like, look, I also haven't been paid. I need to get the fuck out of here. Show me that payment. I'll open up your laptop. I want to see that payment go through right now.
So one shooting location, which was pre-set up by Zhang, was an hour hike up a riverbed where there was no path. Nobody is supposed to go here, and it'd been raining for days. So it's the winter, so it's just shitty weather. So a crew put down carpet along the path across river rocks. So it's not like just a dirt road
Yeah,
or anything.
it's not a path.
Yeah, and at certain points, they hired a crew to build handrails because it gets so perilous. So Lawrence and the actors and the crew make their way up and find the place completely insufficient to an area to accommodate an entire film production. They're like, what the fuck are we even this is the spot we were going to? This is nonsense. And it's slippery as hell. All these actors are in these really ridiculous costumes, and the mermaids have very strange mermaid tail kind of contraptions, so their feet are kind of their knees are bound, and so they had to waddle across wet rocks.
Wait, are these? Wait. They're mermaids?
I have questions.
I don't understand this.
How are-
I don't know why so much of this movie takes place on land.
On land?
Yeah.
Okay, Ray, help me out here.
I can't.
Mermaids
Yes.
are half human, half fish.
Correct.
Yeah, sea creatures.
Have a sexy fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they're traditionally their top half is human.
Yeah.
And their bottom half is like
Fins.
fins, like a big fishy thing.
A la Little Mermaid.
Yeah. How are do these mermaids have feet? Do
I
they
don't.
walk?
I don't know if they transform when they go on water or something kind of like a Luca situation. I don't know.
But
I have no idea.
There are scenes where they're shooting mermaids on land.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of questions about
Yeah.
this as well.
just on the mermaid part. I've got a lot of questions on just that.
Maybe they're the types
We get
of
it.
mermaids
You
want
to know about mermaid anatomy.
Yeah.
Maybe
how
it's
do
the
I
type
fuck
where
a
the-
mermaid?
I mean, maybe it is the type where the top half is a fish and the bottom half's a lady.
That is my worst goddamn nightmare.
So this is when Lawrence discovers there's no medical team and a plan if anybody were to get hurt.
This poor guy.
Yeah.
So he objects to filming there, and Zhang says if he doesn't, he will be fired and won't get his money. Turns out this spot was Shi Yanfei's chosen place.
His girlfriend?
His girlfriend. So, like, something about her, like, she wanted to shoot in that very specific thing.
Oh, like it was, like, special to her. Or She was
Yeah.
like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and so he was bending over backwards just for her.
I see.
Okay.
But yeah, if you can't, like, fit a film crew... I'm just picturing that they're like all like huddled on like one tiny rock, like like a cliff side, like on a rock, like overlooking like a waterfall or something. Where it's just like this is precarious.
This sound okay. I've never been on a film set, right? But I imagine that he probably was watching a movie, one of the 4,000 that he has seen, right? And he sees like a location similar to this, or his girlfriend does, and thinks, oh, that would be something. Oh, I know a place that's just like that. That would be really cool to shoot at.
Yeah.
Not realizing the logistics of it all. Like, if you're going to film something, like, you got to have space for a huge crew to be there.
Hundreds of people.
Not just where the actors are.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
Well, and like also probably if you were shooting in like a really remote, like small location, half of it's probably fake.
Right. Yeah. Or if you think of like the sweeping shots of the Lord of the Rings, like where they're trekking across mountains, it's the actors who got there safely via helicopter.
Yeah, they're
and
dropped off by a helicopter.
And then they're probably just like, okay, all you gotta do for this take is just walk
Straight line.
Yeah, and then the helicopter will get you, and like,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
That's how you do remote like locations.
And
that
just
are,
for a flyby.
Yeah.
Not for an entire scene's worth.
I'm not gonna have a battle. I'm not gonna have exposition.
Yeah.
Well, and the fact that there was like no safety crew, there was no safety meeting, like
Yeah.
there's so much like liability on a normal film set where if anybody gets hurt, like you're fucked. And so they're so overly cautious about everything.
Yeah.
This sounds like the kind of movie that if you were to give 10-year-old Clint $1 billion, then this is the kind of movie that 10-year-old Clint would.
And then there's mermaids.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they're also on land. And then
Yeah.
Like-
and there's this really
It's
cute girl that I
crazy.
love in my 6th grade class, and she really wants to be in this movie, and she has to shoot on top of this mountain.
and she's gonna be the princess.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be like battles and like ships. And like he's the good guy, but also he's the bad guy.
And his name is Silver Eye. Isn't that so
Isn't
cool?
that so cool? Whoa.
I'm like, okay, Clint.
And then Optimus Prime shows up.
And then Shakespeare?
I want Shakespeare to be running in battle with a sword, fighting up against Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
He's like,
To be or not to be, bitch.
So, one actress, Irina Violette, she was so furious about their treatment at this moment. Like, she's been through all this shit, and she quits. And she's like, I'm fucking done. Like, this is just, you guys don't care about us. This is just stupid.
Yeah.
So they're still at this remote location. So they're at this hotel up in the mountains. And so she goes back to the hotel room and tries to get plane tickets out of China. She's like, I'm fucking done. Let's go. She's there with her boyfriend. But Zhang had her passports confiscated. They were in the production office, and he refused to give them back until she paid back her salary.
That's like basically kidnapping.
Yeah, right?
That's insane.
So, I mean, really, for him, it's just, I want my money back, right?
Yeah.
It's about the money.
Right.
So,
Which again, like really kind of feeds into this whole conspiracy theory you all are coming up with where like he's just completely full of shit and has no money at
Yeah,
all. Like,
exactly.
it's just smoke and mirrors.
Is he still around, like doing
Yes.
stuff?
yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh.
They were trapped in this remote hotel
Oh my
in the mountains.
God.
So she calls Lawrence, and together they devise a plan to get him out. Lawrence calls a full production meeting for everybody just that night. And he's like, everybody, this is very important. We need to talk about something. So everyone would be in attendance, including her. And while nobody was paying attention, her and her boyfriend climbed out a window. They threw their luggage out, climb out a window.
Oh my God.
They make their way down the river.
Awesome.
Make their way down the mountain via the river because they stayed away from the highway, the cars, just in case they ran into anybody that was part of the production or sympathetic to Zhang or Zhang's people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it was forcing them to be like just walking in the river in the middle of the winter, crossing it multiple times, like wet.
Jesus
And
Christ.
it takes all night. They reach the police station, and they had a note that Lawrence had a trustful crew member write in Chinese and say, explaining their whole situation, like that this
They've
they're-
basically been kidnapped.
Yeah, and so we need to be taken to the U.S. Embassy, and so they hand it to
Right.
the police. They make it.
Ugh.
The police put him on the train, and they get him out of there. But it still takes quite a few days for all of this to unfold, for
Right.
them to actually get a temporary visas to get out. So
It sounds like a prisoner of war like situation, not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just trying to quit my job on a film set. Like that's
Yeah.
insanity.
so
I said before that I want to see this movie just because it sounds like just awful. But no, I agree with Ray though. I want to see the movie about this movie.
okay, hold on to that. So
Oh my God,
The cliffhangers.
but so it takes so long for a couple of days for this to work out. So Lawrence had to make it seem like they were still there, that there was no problem.
Was it
right?
it's like Weekend at Bernie's or like Home Alone shit?
Oh my God.
So he told the producers that they were just super pissed about what was going on, and they refused to leave their hotel room.
Hotel. Okay.
Okay, so he just pretends that they were actually in their hotel room. And so he would personally just be like, they're only will not talk to me. So he would personally bring in their meals, and then he'd walk over to the window and then throw the food out the window and make it look like they ate their food.
Oh my God.
And-
Chicken, broccoli, and rice.
Yeah. And then so he like had to keep up a ruse that they were and then finally they were called to set, and then he was like, what? They're gone? What happened?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Right from under my nose.
This is Lawrence about this whole situation.
At that point, my mind was just turning to the movie about the movie. This movie may never be made, but the movie about the movie has to get made. To me, everything just kind of became a cinematic experience. Yes. Oh my God. I really fucking hope did he like write a memoir? I want to read this memoir.
Right?
It's very fascinating.
I have a theory now. You were talking about before about an upcoming movie.
No,
This- I was-
no,
I was
no,
gonna say, I was
sorry,
like, this
no.
movie's been made, and we're not knowing the movie.
No.
I just
Okay.
like really want to see the movie about this movie.
I have lots of different sources on this one, but one of them is a guy that did interview with all these people. Atavist magazine. This guy interviewed all these people, including Zhang, and we'll get to there. So after 5 months in, Lawrence was done. He's like, I don't care anymore, and he has another job lined up. He wants to go back to his daughter, but Zhang wanted to keep him on, and Lawrence asked for $1 million, and Zhang shook his hand and said, bye-bye. And
That's one way to that's the only way to get out of a contract for this guy apparently is just like ask for more money that
money,
he doesn't
right?
have.
at this point, Lawrence had only shot 1/3 of the movie.
Oh my God.
Oh wow, we're only 1/3 into this shit show.
After 5 months?
Some of that is pre-production, but
Right. Okay.
And this is the last thing Zhang said to Lawrence before he left.
Do you know any other Hollywood directors?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He is just
What is happening?
he's off his rocker, man.
Yeah. Looking back at his time on the shoot, Lawrence thinks he should have just done the job. Stop caring about it, because Zhang was going to get what he wanted regardless of what was going to
Right.
happen. So just do what he wants, get the paycheck.
So
This-
did he not get paid at all?
No, Lawrence did get paid.
Okay,
Lawrence did get paid. And this is Lawrence on his whole time on Empires of the Deep.
I think in the early days, my own frustration contributed to making Jang sound like an egomaniac, which maybe he was, but he did build this from the ground up. He did pull this together. As unconventional as it was, he did have quite a vision for it, no doubt. So I can't really fault him for that, or for wanting to have this in a very particular way. I actually respect Jang for his vision and unrelenting drive to get it done his way. But that was also the demise of the project, because he wouldn't let much go when it wasn't working.
So he kind of has a little, like,
A little bit like...
yeah, respect.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's very generous of him, I think,
Yeah, no kidding.
to say that.
I mean, it should be a respected thing to be like, I have this vision, I want to see it through. This is my project. I really want to do something with it. But yeah, no, at the same time, like, not every idea is a good idea.
Yeah, right. And at least just be like, okay, like the pill thing. Just you got to make sacrifices here and there.
Yeah, I mean, because it makes total sense. Like, hey, look, here's a little Jang. Look, I respect you. I love that you have this story and then you want to build something with it. But if they have a pill, why don't they give it to everybody?
Right.
Yeah.
This particular part does not make sense and is not
This is a plot
working.
hole that people would be bitching
People are
about.
going to point out.
Maybe the translator didn't want to explain plot holes.
Yeah.
She's also just trying to get through this and get a paycheck.
Yeah.
He said that your plots are very
Holy.
as in special.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
they're
I
sent from
agree.
God.
I agree.
Lawrence called the production
plots.
a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse Now meets The Room.
Oh my God. Yes.
Doesn't it seem very much
Yes.
like The Room?
Yes. But also
Or
with the scale.
if when we've seen the Disaster Artist.
Yeah, disaster artist. But also but the scale of Apocalypse Now, because you're like on beaches and there's like huge set pieces and because like The Room is like a small movie.
Yeah.
But, like,
both of
this-
them are just insane shit shows.
Right. But like Apocalypse Now is like people in danger, like getting hurt, like craziness in the jungle, like
Yeah.
So that actually is a perfect description.
Meets a guy who is somehow financing this whole thing from unknown ways.
sources.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What if Tommy Wiseau was like the secret financier of this movie?
Nobody's actually met
Oh
Jang.
my God!
Yeah.
He's just Jang is just like he's just like a front man for Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. It's just like he has this actor come out every once in a while.
Oh hi Mark. Oh my God! So good.
Oh hi Mermaid.
Oh hi Mermaid.
So the cinematographer that worked on the whole thing, he had worked with another director, a Canadian director, on a Chinese shoot, Michael French. Again, nothing of real note, mostly TV documentaries. French is hired.
Wait, his last name is French?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So he didn't like the French guy, but he likes
No.
the French guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
He likes the French Canadian guy.
Yeah. Big difference.
French, the Canadian guy.
French is hired in February of 2010 with a guaranteed out at the end of April.
Okay.
Because he had a good relationship with the cinematographer, shooting was much easier.
Okay.
There was some respect there. French was not allowed to speak with Lawrence. I don't know how you keep that from happening, but so he didn't know what style Lawrence was going for. And so he thought he too thought the script was crap. So he chose to shoot the rest of it as a comedy.
Oh no. Oh goodness.
Awesome.
It's just like,
oh boy.
Anything goes. And he realizes that Zhang just wants everything in the can. So he just starts pulling out chunks of dialogue to make it go faster. Like, here's this person saying a whole paragraph, just have him say one sentence.
That doesn't need to be in there.
And Zhang's not there,
Right.
and they're not going to translate it
I
to
find
him.
it so weird that he's been so fastidious about like
Everything.
I want it done this way, I don't want it done this way, no, like I don't like this, he's been so micromanagey of this entire process, but yet he's rarely on set. Like I don't
Does he see the dailies?
understand.
Yeah, I'm
how that
assuming that's probably what he does at
works.
the end of the day or something.
Yeah,
After a long day of being a billionaire.
Yeah,
but like
quote unquote.
I don't know. It's just because part of me is just sort of thinks that like Lawrence should have been like, all right, listen, we're just going to do this my way. Like, he's not here. Like, fuck him. Like, let's go, you know? Because, like, what the hell? Like, maybe he'd get fired, but it's like he got fired anyway or he left anyway. So, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So, Zhang visits the set again, and he gets mad about one of the actors that plays one of the kings. Because he was acting too gruff. He was too grizzled. And he keeps yelling at the actor, play it like Shakespeare. So the guy's like, I don't know what that means. So he goes like all posh and Britishy.
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh,
Verily,
yes.
thou shalt, my son.
Yeah. And then Zhang cheers. Yes, that's the character.
No, man.
Oh, goodness.
And so Zhang leaves. Problem is the actor's like, I've been shooting for like 10 days as this other character. Right? So the continuity is not going to make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
And French tells the guy, he's like, don't worry about it. We'll do it both ways. We'll shoot it both ways, and then we'll forget about the footage in the editing.
Yeah.
So there's some like, maybe he's watching the dailies, maybe he's not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like giving him like, hey, give him the Shakespeare dailies.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Nobody knows because there's so much of a translation area, and who knows what's going to what and who's being told what.
Yeah. The amount of like work that it's taking to just manage this guy is like stressing me the hell out. It's hard enough to make a movie with all the logistics and all the problems and all the potential issues, and then you're like also managing this like egomaniacal asshole.
Giant fucking baby.
Yeah, this like giant
Yeah.
like man baby. Like, this must have been what 2016 to 2020 was like in the U.S. government. Like that, like
Yeah.
1,000%.
A person who was rarely doing his actual job.
Yeah, where
who was
everyone's
claimed
just
to
like,
actually be a billionaire.
yeah, like because you're operating on two levels where you're doing the real job and then you're doing like the fake job to like please the fucking like man baby in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm triggered right
the
now.
illusions
I'm
of
very
Trump are
triggered.
actually just very apt.
Could you believe that there was one point in time that I wanted to get into show business?
You could have been walking around China and then just pulled in.
Yeah. I could have been sneaking around in the jungle, going from bank to bank of a river, trying to get out of China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been me.
Throwing your bags out of windows.
Yeah, Lawrence had their back, man. Lawrence is a good
Yeah.
dude.
That's true.
That's above and beyond for sure. But like,
I also
that's
don't
crazy.
understand why he was just like, I'm gonna keep doing this. Like at that point,
Yeah.
it's like
once you have to help an actor escape from
yeah,
your
maybe
set,
maybe I shouldn't work for this guy anymore.
then you're just like, I have to hold on. I gotta think about I gotta reevaluate my life for a second
Yeah,
and
it's
decide
very-
if I actually want to be here.
Very love-hate relationship, apparently.
It's crazy.
So in April of 2010, Zhang, feeling very proud about all the work that's going on, invites a bunch of high-level press to visit the set. This includes the Hollywood Reporter, New York Times, like the big sources.
Do they have to
that I
trek up
usually
that mountain with the carpet and the handrails? And is that where they're going?
He's like, thank you for coming. Please give your passports to my assssistant before you enter the room. Everyone's like, what?
What the fuck?
Give him our
No
passports.
way. Yeah.
We're gonna show you some footage. We're gonna do it in a cave, and this is our horse friend.
He's very good.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Very well trained.
They are told that they are at the end of a 7-month shoot, and it's been just wonderful. They present a slew of 3D footage to the press, which apparently looked awful. There will be, because most of it was kind of like unfinished.
Right.
There will be a year's worth of post-production, aiming for a 2011 summer release. Okay.
Jeez.
Wait. Oh, okay.
This is how far back we are.
Okay. Because that, based on the trailer, that already doesn't track.
Said 2013.
Yes. So Zhang tells the reporters he wanted to prove that a few guys from China can make a Hollywood-level film. This is producer Harrison Liang.
We are nobody in Hollywood, but we don't need financing. So we're going to do this film the best we know how and then knock on Hollywood's door and say, take this if you like what you see.
I think that quote is so weird because it's like not like, here, take this. Like, look how much good we did. It's like, take this if you like it.
It's kind of double-sided. It's weird because it's like, we don't need Hollywood, but do you want to look at this for us?
Yeah. Overly confident, but also hedging your bets at the same time.
Yeah,
which
displaying
is,
a thing of strength, but from a place of weakness.
That was me in high school all the time.
Okay, so this is my favorite little thing from the New York Times article. In Mr. Zhang's offices in Beijing, where dozens of young Chinese toil in cubicles on computer graphics for empires, a dry erase board has an informal schedule for the project. There are 3 items that are telling of Mr. Zhang's ambitions. Days until Monica Bellucci shows up on set. Days until Cannes Film Festival. Days until the grand premiere. All the lines are blank.
Oh my God. Yeah, because Monica Bellucci wasn't in the movie. So like miss and like miss.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So French reaches his heart out at the end of April. The film is still not done.
Jesus.
And Zhang was adding new scenes to the script. So between Lawrence leaving and French starting to film, he was like, "Ooh, we need more stuff."
I just saw my 4001 movie, and there was a great scene. Let's put that in.
So he keeps adding all this shit, and French is like, "No, God damn it," right? And Zhang demands French stay, or he won't get his last paycheck.
Oh my God.
And French is like, "I don't care."
Yes, exactly. Nobody needs that last paycheck.
This is French on leaving.
The train was off track. They couldn't pay the crew. They couldn't pay for the cameras, but they could add extra scenes. There was nothing they could offer that would beat the prospect of going home. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you're just like, fuck it. No amount of money in the world is worth this. Everything that's happening here. Not worth it.
It's like when someone asks you to like move, help them move, and you get there in the morning and you're like, okay, yeah, this is all right. This is no big deal. And the next thing you know, it's like 9:00 at night. You're like, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
They keep adding boxes.
Right. And they're just like, but we got everybody pizza, and you're just like, fuck your pizza.
No amount of pizza is worth this shit.
It's the best pizza in the world.
Yeah.
Zhang then asked Jonathan Lawrence if he would return.
Oh,
Guess what he said?
Fuck no.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Can I keep my
Go
passport?
back to your translator. Boom.
Yeah.
I'll do it over Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah. You tell the translator. She's like, he said, maybe.
How many burgers are in it?
Yeah.
Zhang finds documentary filmmaker Scott Miller. Again, nothing of note. He's the son of Warren Miller, if that means anything to sports nuts. He's done hundreds of sports documentaries. Scott Miller, he works on the film for 3 more months.
Jesus.
Guess how he felt it went?
Swimmingly.
He said it was a blast.
Oh, okay.
He enjoyed it immensely.
All right. Well,
he gets to
good for
China.
you. Good for you, Scott.
Miller gets to China, and he finds the cast and crew in the fucking pits. Like, they're just done, right? I mean, this is just ridiculous. What the hell is going on here? So he attempts to boost morale by, like, slowing things down and getting them better food.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty smart, actually. That's a good strategy.
yeah.
He's going the Ted Lasso route.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, everybody gets burgers, not just Mr. Lawrence. His main goal, Miller's main goal, is to make the Atlas Aka love story work. And he goes along having a great time. And he's loving it so much, he asks Zhang if he can reshoot everything Lawrence and French did.
Oh my God. That's like 8 fucking months.
God.
What are you even talking about, Scott Miller? Is this guy a moron? I'm worried for Scott Miller. Is he okay? Is he okay?
Maybe you just enjoy torturing people. I don't know. It's crazy, right? Like, after everything that they've gone through.
I feel like, okay, like I feel like if I were one of the actors on that movie and it's like, okay, there's just like 3 more months. I can do this. I just gotta, okay, this new guy came in. All right, cool. He's getting us some Oreos and peanut butter. Great. Like this is fine. I can do 3 more months. And then if this guy comes in one day, he's like, hey, everybody, let's redo the last 8 months of hell that was your life. I would just be like, no.
They would kill him on
No.
the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be an outright mutiny, like mutiny.
So,
wait,
no. Zhang said no.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
all
well,
right.
of course.
He's already spent enough money.
Yeah. He just wants to get this thing out.
Yes. So, in May of 2010, after 6 months of this nonsense and not paid for the last 3, the actor playing Atlas's drunken friend just leaves. He's like, fuck it. Like, I'm done. And Zhang just hired a stand-in for the rest of his scenes. So just put him in the background for the rest of it.
Suddenly just like a tiny Chinese guy in like a fat suit or something. Like I just love that so much.
It's like a kid.
Well, just like it's just like a short round looking kid with like a beard and like a fat suit.
This is Zhang's nephew.
Oh my god. So good.
So, at this point, there have been 4 directors, 10 writers, and 40 script revisions, and a release date of 2011.
$1 billion. 4,000 movies. 1 girlfriend.
4 directors.
4 directors.
20 dead
10
chickens.
writers. 20 dead
It's a
chickens.
numbers game.
20 dead chickens.
Yeah.
40 script revisions.
So in 2012, one of the actors runs into John Zhang at the American Film Market, where
what is that? Is this like a giant warehouse, like Indiana Jones style? Like...
No,
it's probably where foreign financiers go to, like
independent films.
people go to buy and sell movies.
Yeah, distribute our movie.
Is it like a stock market where they're all like yelling at each other and shit? Like...
just shouting
That's
and
what I
like somehow
imagined.
it's chaos and somehow movies get distributed.
It's a really lame-looking booth kind of setup, like a Comic-Con, but all the people walking around are business suits trying to make money.
That's some shitty cosplay.
So,
right?
Zhang is there trying to find a distributor for Empires of the Deep, because in the system, no matter even if you make this whole movie, you still need a distributor that has the connections to put the movies into theaters.
Right.
And if without that, you have nothing. You can release it on DVD if you want.
Was this like streaming or like what, or was this like really early streaming?
This is before 2013, which is when Netflix started doing their own content.
Okay.
So this is just before that.
Because I feel like now it actually probably would have been easier for him.
Yeah, like he could have gone the Mowgli route.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Netflix would have bought it.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
$7 billion.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was.
9 billion. 9 billion.
Yeah.
So Zhang manned the booth himself.
Of course he did.
Of course.
He looked depressed and had no visitors.
Aww.
Is that a sad moment?
I mean, he kind of deserves it. It's a little sad.
The trailer arrived in October of 2012. This is a complete coincidence. This has been 10 years, that trailer that I just showed you.
Wow.
Since it premiered?
That it came out.
Oh.
10 years ago.
Before this night's over, I gotta have to watch that trailer again.
Yeah. Now that I know, I need to look at it way more closely.
Yeah.
And this is immediately ridiculed for looking like the worst kind of a sci-fi original. Like what you just watched.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like the CG and the battles and stuff like that looked exactly like a sci-fi original. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
I was watching. I was like, where have I seen this?
Yeah,
before?
like a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great.
It's like Sharknado, but people love Sharknado.
So in 2013, the actor playing Atlas was given a note, and Zhang was renting him a tux and had a plane ticket to France for the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh my God.
2013,
Oh
here
my
we come.
God.
Actor gets in the car, headed to the airport. When he gets a call that whatever Zhang had prepared was canceled.
Oh
my God.
Of course it was.
In 2014, Zhang had apparently hired Michael Kahn. This is Steven Spielberg's editor. He's done all of Spielberg's movies.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
To pull all of Empires of the Deep together. And they held a preview in LA, and it was indeed terrible.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Not even
But
Spielberg's editor.
was it really Michael Kahn, though, who
Yeah.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he was just like, look, not even I can save this shit.
Yeah. What is this
Listen.
wall in the
Yeah.
background?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this little kid in a fat
That
suit.
Is that the same? Oh, that's the. Okay, I see what's happening here.
2 weeks later,
So we're still in 2014.
2014,
Okay.
2 weeks later after their preview,
Remind me, when again did this whole thing start? Like
he
2009?
first established Imagine in 2004.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Okay.
But they didn't start shooting until like 2009, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So he had this script this long, though.
Did he sit down and
He wrote the
write script
original.
himself? Okay. God, this is like
Good
10-year-old me.
Lord.
So 2 weeks later, Zhang somehow organized reshoots. I don't know why anybody would sign up to go back, but the actor who plays the main character, I think it's Scott Polites or something like that, he's never done anything. I'm sure he was probably thinking, this is my big break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was
And-
too polite.
Yeah. So they all
Take
they all
that.
go back, show up on set, and they don't recognize anybody. Nobody from the original crew.
Oh shit.
Like nobody knows who was directing it.
Really?
Like-
Miller didn't come back.
Uh-uh.
Lawrence didn't come back. French
Yeah.
didn't come back.
Yeah, the actor was like, "Oh, it's just some guy."
Huh.
So
There's another
I
kid
don't
in a
know
fat
what
suit.
exactly that was, but that happened.
So they actually did manage to do some reshoots.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know how
In
long?
2015, a reporter actually interviewed Zhang about the troubles of empires. This was from the Atavist magazine, the guy I was talking about. This article is just like full of these just kind of crazy details. And he asks, "Can I see the current film?" And Zhang replied, he needed to wait for the theatrical release because DVD wouldn't do it justice.
Oh my god.
And this is our last word from Mr. John Zhang.
The world has never seen anything like this before.
And they never will.
Yeah.
They've never seen it, and they never will see it.
Now, can we watch this somehow?
Okay. Zhang was also more interested in that whole interview. He was more interested into talking about his new script
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
called Parallel Universes.
Oh, what?
Again, just thrown into like an AI script generator. Parallel universes.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi.
In 2016, Empires of the Deep went up on a Chinese crowdfunding site asking for $150,000.
To do what?
Nobody knows. It does not say. $25 gets your name in the credits, and if you pay $7,600, your company logo on the poster.
Hey, we've got $25.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
The page misattributes the actors' names. It's like it'll show one person and give a different name underneath it.
Oh my god.
It says it was directed by Irvin Kershner, Michael French, and Scott Miller.
Complete
No Lawrence.
No Jonathan Lawrence.
Kirshner said, fuck this. Before anything he
Dude, before he even did anything, he was like, oh no.
No, he saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
It was all in the script.
Yep.
And again, yeah, it doesn't say what the money is going to be used for.
Please tell me it was funded.
4 months later, it reached 2% of its goal.
I was going to say $25.
Guesses on how much it cost.
Oh, man. What is the most expensive movie now? Like what?
Oh, now like Endgame, I think was almost like 400 or some shit.
400 million?
Something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this movie was half that at 200 million.
I'm going to say 249 million.
Okay. So the cost varies. Nobody knows
Oh.
for sure. The internet likes to say 130 million.
Mm-hmm.
Zhang loves to say that he spent 100 million
Okay.
on
Okay.
it. But Lawrence, having actually been there
Right.
and experienced it, he thinks it was more like 30 million.
Oh shit, that's nothing.
So nobody knows.
Well, I guess that's true because like people just like weren't getting paid and shit.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
And people were like just forforfeiting their salaries to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, all the line items were chicken, broccoli, and rice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
and a wall.
The chickens that were in the set
Yeah,
that died,
just-
and like they were
Right. They
doubling
just
up
reused
things.
chickens.
Saved money.
Yeah.
Who knows how many extras they ate?
Dude.
How many horses were turned into
Oh,
glue?
no, for the costumes.
So some have said the experience bankrupted Zhang, and
Oh.
others say all the money was from Chinese investors. So
Mm.
it was never actually any of his money.
Interesting.
Oh.
But nobody knows. Nobody knows at all.
So
There's no true story,
mysterious.
like no accurate figure of what this is. This is very similar of The Room. Like
Right. Nobody knows like,
Wiseau.
how the hell he got the money.
Yeah, and where it
how
was coming
much-
from.
Yeah, what it cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
As of today, this movie is unreleased. So
Womp womp.
So we've never really done this before. Has it been worth it?
No.
Absolutely not.
Have not seen the film. Will not, I guess, ever see the film.
I'm gonna watch that trailer several times tonight before I go to bed.
Yes, correct. Sounds like was not worth it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, just the simple fact alone that nobody has seen this movie,
Yeah.
it wasn't worth it.
Mhm.
People having to sneak out of their hotel room
Dude.
to get out of the country because this maniac has taken your passports. Like, absolutely, it was just not worth it.
Lives were ruined. Vacations were ruined and destroyed. Horses were harmed. Chickens were harmed.
Yeah. Like,
No.
Yeah, 100% completely agree. I still want to see this fucking
Oh,
movie.
absolutely. Absolutely. This is the hashtag. Forget the fucking release the Snyder cut. Release this bullshit. I want to see this movie.
release the
I know.
Lawrence cut. Yeah.
Zhang.
Release the
Zhang-
Lawrence
Release
French
the
Miller
deep.
cut. Yeah, release the deep.
Release the
Release Empires of the Deep. Do it.
No, I seriously like the plot line alone is just like so bonkers enough
Yeah.
to be kind of
Yeah.
like, how is this all going to even play out?
Right.
It looks so bad. It looks like it'd be so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so as the only actor of note in this whole movie, right? Because everyone else you've said is sort of like they're kind of nobodies.
Yeah.
Like, has Olga Kurylenko ever said anything about this
No.
movie?
No.
She's just like, we'll never talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll never speak about it.
Yeah.
Have been to much therapy.
Yeah.
From what I understand, like there wasn't a lot about her doing it, which makes me think, based off of the information I was reading, it kind of made it more sound like she was a very small role.
Oh, like maybe she just did like a few days like on a soundstage
Yeah.
and was just like, cool, whatever.
Because
Thanks
she's
for the money.
queen, but
Bye."
not like the main character. She's
Right,
not
right,
the
right.
princess mermaid.
I mean, it sounds like that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Definitely not worth it, but hell yeah, I want to see this movie.
Yeah. This is gonna be like I can't die until I see
Yeah.
this movie.
That's gonna, you know what? That's gonna be my next crowdfunding page that I'm gonna put up.
It's just-
Just get me a copy of this.
Get me personally a copy of this, and each tier will just be like, if you pay $25, I will give you a Plex login where you can go and also watch
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
the,
not a bad idea.
it should be,
No, this should
if Anonymous is listening, get onto his servers.
Do it.
And get that movie out.
The people must see.
We must release
We
the
need
deep.
to know the truth. We need to know the truth.
what we could do for our own crowdfunding, the shit show, right? Is we could, if we get our goal and we actually get this movie, we will do like a live viewing
Oh, hell
via
yeah.
YouTube.
Hell yeah.
People
We will-
can come watch
We're
it
gonna
with us.
Twitch stream this shit.
I would love nothing more to see this movie.
We're gonna make it happen.
But definitely not worth it.
$1 billion, 4,000 movies, one shitty movie.
You don't know. You haven't seen it, bitch.
It's so
This
epic. It really does blend Transformers and Shakespeare,
Shakespeare.
and it is euphoric.
And then when Optimus and Shakespeare actually started fighting, it blew my mind. I did not think they could pull that off.
Yeah.
But
I sobbed when Shakespeare dies by Optimus Prime's hand.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Come to find out that they were brothers.
they were both mermen.
Merman. But like seriously, what if you watch and you were like, oh my god, actually that's a really good movie. Like what if you really loved it?
I bet if we were to see it, it would blow our goddamn minds, and we would just be like, it's like looking through time.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah. You're just like, I
I mean,
understand.
I really just want to see like how the stupid like Atlas / Silver Eye, like how that works, slash Demon Mage.
Yeah, how he manages to be 3 characters in one movie.
Yeah.
Now that takes some acting talent.
Yeah.
It's just, when the movie comes out, it's just the raw footage of just all the shit that was going on.
Oh my
Set
God.
those actors freaking out as a horse is about to kick him in the face.
That's our second crowdfunding page, is getting the disaster artist movie about this movie made.
Mhm.
That's crowdsource funding number 2.
The empires of we're in deep shit.